Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have been looking at this one on the on my shelf for several weeks and kept saying, why have I not done a box opening of this? I know that this is a fairly popular kit, thanks to my friend Ian up in Canada, who sent this to me probably a month ago, if at least, maybe a little longer than that. But yeah, this is a cool kit. I think this is from 78 or 79, I believe, is when the this was produced. Shirley Shahan. I'm not good with phonics. If you haven't noticed, I'm not good with phonics. But anyway, this is her car. It's the Dragon Lady. It's at Irwindale Raceway. Man, California was such a boy, if you could live there in the 60s. So much. Southern California, so much to offer. Still a lot to offer, I'm sure, but some things I don't want their offer on over in Cali. But anyway, would have been a cool place. Still be a cool place to probably live. Oh man, yes, the Johan Models 17255, more in Detroit, Michigan, 48212. So if you need to get in touch with them, there it is. American Motors, use of name and design authorized by American Motors Corporation. This is an AMX 69 AMX. I had a former pastor that let's see, I forget what and all he had. He was a Vietnam veteran. He came back from Vietnam, and either he had a Mustang and traded it for, anyway, he ended up with an AMX. Now, he wasn't a car guy. He couldn't tell you a whole lot about cars or anything, but he did say that it was fast, 4-speed and fast, and a cool looking car. It was always kind of a mixed up looking car to me, kind of back half of a Pinto, front half of a Camaro or something. I don't know. It was a peculiar car, but still had that look. It was a very sporty and very sought after cars too. And what would it have had in it? A 3 what's the American Motors? I think they had 304, 390. I think this would have had 390. Check me on that, guys, in the comment section. I know you will. I think it would have had a 390 American Motors 4-barrel, and I bet the instructions sheet will show that. Coming or going, you will want to build this super drag star. Look at them. Anyway, all right, let's open it up. There's your instructions. Let's see what kind of information this has on the Dragon Lady. It doesn't have any. It's just telling you about how to prepare surfaces to get before you start painting, things like that. There's your engine. Does not say what size it is. 390, I believe it is. Oh, this has got 2 4-barrels. Because it's a drag car, though, it wouldn't have come with 2 4-barrels, I don't think. 2-piece headers. The very simple Johan chassis, which we'll get to. Slicks. Got your simple interior. They're very simple. I think what most people, I've never built a Johan kit, never, but I think what people liked most about them was the body and their the cars that they did cover. But as far as a build, I mean, they're, you know, MPC. I'm not comparing a Johan to MPC, but I'm saying like the tubs, the interior tubs and things like that remind me a lot of an MPC because they're very simplistic. But then a lot of people love MPCs because of the cars that they produced. I put this glass in here. Has a few little scuffs. Nothing that can't be cleaned up. It's not broken. It's great. You can buff that right out. All right. So where do we start? Do I start with the body first? I mean, that kind of like the whole thing, right? I've had Mark over at Hobby Nut sent one over one time for me just to show you guys, and I don't think it was the Dragon Lady though. It was a different kit. You have to go back and see. I did some Opened a Superbird kit and a AMX, but the AMX was not the Dragon Lady. Alright, so there's your tub. See your seats and everything, how they're already in there. But listen, I don't know if you guys are like this, but the sound of old styrene, just, I don't know. It just sounds really nice. I'm not going to shake it with the body in there, but just the sound of old styrene. It's just this wonderful sound. And like when your fingers just like go over it like that, I think it's cool. So anyway, your 2 bucket seats, your interior, impossible, absolutely impossible to paint that armrest because there's no room there, and you couldn't get, well, yeah, it's impossible. Okay, not painting the armrest. No back seat, and guess what, guys? They didn't have back seats. I don't think you could get back seats in these cars. They were a 2-seater car. Although if you looked at an AMX, it doesn't look like a 2-seater, but it is. It's a 2-seater car. It's not a drag edition that would only have 2 seats. That's just the way they came. How do I know that? My former pastor. Pretty sure that's who it was. Said something about not having back seats. You know, that might have been the reason he got rid of it. I think he swapped it for a Mustang or traded it for a Mustang. That's what it was, because it didn't have back seats. I believe that's the story. Your it's like a truck differential, but obviously it's just because you're supposed to look at it like that, not like that. So very simplistic chassis. Axle, oh no it don't. The axle goes through the engine. We'll get there. It will almost have to if the axle goes through. Yeah, it's got to. We'll see if the engine block has or the oil pan has a hole in it. Yep. Well, I think it does. Here's your chrome tree. One of the wheels is off, I suppose. Yep, it's in there. Got those Kragers that some of you guys just love. Got the chrome 4-barrel. Uh-oh. Isn't there supposed to be? Yeah, there's another one. It's kind of funny. They put one 4-barrel here, one 4-barrel here, and one way over here. And the cool AMX. Oh man, there's some chrome off of it. It had to be re-chromed. No biggie. It's just from rubbing. The chrome is off right here on the tips of the bumper. 2 velocity stacks there. Quite a bit of flash on this one. More than likely because this was repopped a couple of times and used in highly produced or huge numbers. More than likely there were a lot of them. There's your nice chrome valve covers and your shifter and the chrome boot, which would want to be painted. I don't know why they would do that. Like, why did they put the boot on the chrome tree? Because obviously it would be black. But anyway, in your rear bumper with AMX on both of them. Here's a decal sheet. Look at him. Now I would have to, these decals are cracked up. Let's see, like on the G. Can't, yeah, there you go, see the cracks. Dragon Lady. You Dragon Lady. Anyway, you probably can find these Southern California Dealers Association, American Motors Southern California Dealers Association. That is cool. HL Shahan, Krager, Champion, Valvoline, Holly, Fram, Goodyear, Doug's headers. Oh man, what the heck is that? What is that? Looks like a Pontiac. Almost looks like a Pontiac symbol turn on its side. I don't know what that is. It's got like an arrow going through a hole. And then the racing letters. Pretty cool, but you could probably find these. But it's neat that they're in here. I can't thank you enough, Ian. These things are so cool to me. These were made by the VM Corporation over in Cleveland, Ohio. Wet surface or wash surface, leaving it wet, submerge them in water for 5 seconds. You're right. Boy, I have never had any that 5 seconds they come off. Slide transfer off slowly on the off the paper. Smooth, firm and flat. Wash and allow it to dry. Wash? Oh, I don't think these people ever put any decals on because that doesn't sound like how you would do it. Here's the hood. Well, no, get into that last. Radiator, cooling fan, battery, tons of flash on the fan. So that's why I think this thing was produced a lot. And it just wore out the molds. They just got wore out. There's your radiator support, firewall. Radiator support, the radiator. And what's cool about this is most everything is still on the trees. Ian has really taken care of this. Now there's some nice engine detail here, except for the big hole in the side of the block. Water pump, pulleys, the oil pan, starter, master cylinder, distributor. Now look at the heads. This is the bottom of the heads. Let's see if I can get the cut. Maybe I need to darken it just a hair. There are valves in the cylinder heads. Do you see that? Little valves. Oh, the heads of the valves. There they are. That is too cool. Little wedge head. Why would they do that? Well, they do that, I guess, in case you want to like have an engine that's torn apart or something. But what's ironic about this is, unlike the 66 Nova AMT kit that comes with a spare engine that you can put on a stand, it's got some pretty cool crankshaft details and all. You would think that they would have cylinders, open cylinders, where you could see. If they're going to have the heads detailed like this, why wouldn't they have had the cylinders, you know, showing? I don't know. And no valve train in there because it's covered up with the valve covers. But yeah, that's kind of peculiar how they did that. They left the heads, made them very detailed on the underside, but yet not the block or the cylinders. Really super nice dash. There is no way you guys would be able to see the detail in those. Man, that is too detailed. The radio. All right, I'm gonna get my magnifying glass. I got to read this out to you. See if I can read them. All right. My magnifying glass that I put on, I think Paul Olson sent that to me. I think. I may be wrong, and probably am. Anyway, I use this thing all the time. I'm not going to show you what I look like. I look like a jeweler. If I did. Okay, so now I'm going to get this thing. I'm going to see if I can't read these numbers. The radio is an AM radio with the buttons. Okay, let me get here. We kind of, not that you can see it. And the numbers are 5, 7, then there's like a space, 9, 10, 12, 13, and it's like 16. And then the speedometer. Holy moly. Even under, you guys can't see this. Under, like, you've got the, I guess the temperature controls are right here. I got to flip this other one down. Let me see if I can see it. There, it says something. I mean, it is so darn tiny. I think that's amazing that they can actually get that. They can actually have. You never could read that ever, but it's in there, and I can't read it even with a magnifying glass on. But then you speedometer, odometer, tachometer. Man, you can't even see that stuff, but they put it in there, and it's like, oh man, oh, it's kind of funny. Mark Batson, I made a video. Well, this is just a quick side note. I made a video. Oh, it was my sit down video. It's I forget what I titled the video, where I'm just sitting there talking about, I mentioned Lucas C losing his stuff, and you know, kind of wanted to get back to when I started. Anyway, I mentioned Mark Batson being a perfectionist. I didn't mean it like he's like in all ways a perfectionist, but anyway, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to forget. Oh yeah, I'm about to forget what I'm even talking about. But Mark called me, and he was laughing, and he said, Matthew, he said that his wife watched it and was just laughing and said, if you only knew me, you'd know I'm not a perfectionist. And we laughed and joked, and we were talking got off the subject a little bit about I said, if you can't see it, I might do some real fudge work under the body or something. You know, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm the kind of guy who I want to complete the model, and if you're never going to see it, I don't care what it looks like. And Mark's more like, even if you can't see it, I know it's there. But he says sometimes he has fudged a little. But anyway, we laughed about that. But my point of that is, why in the world would Johan spend so much time putting such teeny detail that you can't even really see with the naked eye? It blows. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it's there. There's not a paintbrush small enough to paint those darn numbers. But anyway, they're there. All right, moving on. Gas tank, heater hoses, or radiator hoses. Your headers with the nice collectors, very nice. And then it's got this big plenum style, sort of like a cross ram, I guess, American Motors style cross ram. Another quick side note, this type of intake, stock cars back in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, Bud Moore, which was a car owner for years and years, he made an intake. I think the Dodge guys ran it, the Ford guys ran it. It was similar looking to this, but it would have been a single 4-barrel right in the middle, and it was really ugly, big, wide. And if you'll notice, some of your stock cars would have ran that. What it was is it had so much, the runners inside, it was low, so it didn't go past their height restrictions, but it was had a lot of volume, so your runners were so long, it was almost like having a tunnel ram that was low. But anyway, long story short, ain't got nothing to do with an AMX, but this is a cool story, and I've never told anybody. My dad, his not next door neighbor, but like a half a mile from his house, that was what neighbors were where I grew up, had a junkyard. And he got some old stuff in, and my dad would always stop by his house. You had to pass that guy's house to get to my dad's. And my dad stopped one day, and there was this intake. It was this weird looking intake. My dad got it for $15, I think he paid him for it. He had it for a couple years. I was living in Tennessee at the time, and you guys are like, where are you going with this? Anyway, I came home one time and I said, Daddy, you want me to try and sell that intake for you on eBay? Sure, son. We didn't know anything about it, but it did say Bud Moore on it. I looked that thing up. That thing, it was for a 351 Cleveland, which would have been the period correct, 70s. 351 Cleveland, and I sold that intake for $1,500 on eBay. They go for more than that. My dad paid $15 for it. Yeah, anyway, all that said, that intake kind of reminds me of that. Anyway, all right, well, there we go. And there are a couple of, here's the steering wheel. Got to show you that. Classic steering wheel with the, the holes in it. I don't know if that would have been a stock steering wheel or what, but anyway, there's steering wheel. Timing cover right there, and it looks like a seat back, and the side windows, so it would have had windows for the sides, I suppose. Anyway, all right, now body. That's what we've been waiting on this whole time. So here's the body. Let me put the hood on there with the, oh no, that's not a seat back, that's a dang hood scoop. I wonder how many of you guys caught that before I did, because it wouldn't have showed the two carburetors sticking up out of it. But there you go, there's your hood scoop. Cool. And nice looking hood. Oh, the underside looks very well detailed. And the body, it's the most favoritist part of everybody, is the body. Nice little AMX emblem right there. Door handles, they were superb. I'm telling you, there's a little flash around the inside of the windows, a little bit of a parting line. Nope, that's a crack. No, is it a crack? Looks like it might be a crack right there. That's okay though. Yeah, there's a small crack. That's it right there. Not a problem. But yeah, what a cool little car. Anyway, been wanting to show you guys this, and there you go. I want to put the hood on. It's got the little hood. I hate model car hood hinges. Just despise them. They don't see, because they don't ever fit right. This thing's got a lot of flash on the hood. Anyway, there it is. Too cool. Thank you, Ian. Thank you to all you guys who watched this video and listened to me ramble. Oh, I forgot the tires. Matthew, you forgot the tires. Okay. Firestone drag 500s for the front. Or is that 300? That's 500. Firestone drag 500s. And for the back, same thing. Firestone drag 500s. And the two-piece rear wheels, a little bit hard. They're not like hard plastic, but they're not soft. But they do have some years on them. I always, when I get a kit and it's opened, I'll put the tires and everything, windshield tires, in a bag so they're not damaged, or they don't damage anything, because you know how the tires will do. And I know that those old kits that I have probably have, especially my IMC 48 Fords, are probably at this moment a tire's probably melting into the windshield or some place that is very visible. So why don't you open them, Matthew? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe we'll have a special day one day when I say, all right everybody, I'm about to open up a 48 Ford, but it wouldn't be one that had the price tag on. I think those are too cool with the price tags. But maybe one day we can get there. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And let me know, have you built this kit? Are these, what's your take on Johan kits? I think there are people that are super biased, no matter if they're good or bad. That goes all over the place. MPC. There are some people that hate MPC kits with a passion, and there are some people that think they're the best. And I'm sure it goes that way with Johan. Let me know what you think about Johan kits. What made them so special and unique? Because again, I'm out on the outside looking into this. This wasn't anything that I ever experienced. I never experienced Johan kits. Never saw them for sale anywhere that I can remember. But when I think about that, I can't remember any kits for sale anywhere, which is a weird mental block I have. Nevertheless, this is a cool model kit. And again, thanks to Ian. Thanks to all my supporters for watching these videos and listening to me ramble about an intake that had nothing to do with this, but it was a cool story, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And how many of you remember those stock car intakes that just covered the entire top of the engine and looked weird? Anyway, all right, I'm done talking. If you hadn't subscribed already, please go hit that subscription button. Go check out the Facebook group. Don't forget to go to Hobby Nut Models and check out Mark's inventory over there. Grab you some nice MCW, Tamiya, any kind of paint you find. I don't know. He's got tons of stuff over there. Go check it out. Model kits and all kinds of cool stuff. Go check out Mark's inventory. HobbyNutModels.com. Linked in the description below are all these things that I always mention. Of course, thank you to you guys who buy t-shirts and coffee mugs and stickers and all those things from my spring store. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that and supporting me in that way. And to my Patreon supporters, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Live stream coming up very soon, and yeah, I'm done. Cool. All right, guys, well, you take care, and I'm going to edit this video and get it out to you. See ya. Bye.